Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a solo queue operator tier list. We're going to start on attackers and then we're going to move to defenders after that. So two separate tier lists basically. But I just wanted to do this because obviously I do solo games all the time for you. And I'm going to be doing the same thing this season in the coming days. Right now I'm just getting a few more matches that I had from the end of last season. Just from the last couple nights now at this point. I'll be showing you some really good games that were very helpful, in my opinion. So hope you enjoy those, and then we'll be starting the new season of the solo queue series as well. So I'm excited for that. The season, it looks like, is off to a really good start. I really like the consulate changes for the most part. I love the grim changes. I love the balancing stuff they've done. So I'm really looking forward to starting this season. I do think I have a good idea of how to rank these operators though. Hopefully the video's not laggy. I'm doing this on my laptop. That's what I use to edit my videos on too. So we'll see how that goes after. Should be fine since it's just a tier list. That's literally all it is on the screen. But let's jump right into it. These operators are in random order, it looks like. And on defense, it does have Fenrir, I'm pretty sure. So first of all, Ace. When you're in solo queue, I think Ace is going to be S tier still. Usually I would say don't go hard breach when you're solo queue, but Ace is pretty much a fragger, just he has the ability to open walls too. I'd recommend one of your teammates still bring another hard breach if you're going to take Ace, but really you don't need hard breach when you're playing ranked in solo queue. I find most of the times at least. Ace is good though, you can just throw those suckers on the wall and just run in. I would only take a hard breach though in solo queue. If you're going for, say, hatches on a basement site, like you can take Habana, but that's going to be for her. And then for Ace, if you see they don't have any mutes or bandits or anything on the wall. Ace is also really good though because you can go below. Like say you're on Oregon attacking upstairs, you can go below, throw an Ace charge on the floor, and completely get the bandits or the Cade if it's near the ground off the wall. And then you can breach it yourself with your last two. But Ace is definitely S tier. His gun's insane too. And that's the meta right now. For Amaru, I think if you play Amaru right in solo queue, she's probably like B or C tier. If you just run in like an idiot, it's going to be like lower. It depends on the player really when you're playing Amaru. Her utility isn't bad though. You get a Gon 6, you get Hard Breach or Stuns, which are both good. So you can get a Hatch or whatever with the Hard Breach. You can make a very quick entry too if you use your drone right and replace it. So I'm going to say B. If you know what you're doing with Amaru, she is not that bad. I might bring her down to C eventually. We'll see. For Ashe, she's going to be A tier automatically. Easy A tier for Ashe. Her gun's really good. Claymores are good if you're going to go on a rappel for a second or something. Or for just runouts or your flank watch in general. Stuns would be better, obviously, but Claymores aren't bad for when you're solo queuing for watching your back. You still have the two explosives. For solo queue, you're going to want to take like explosive, like grenades, Ashe, Zofia, stuff like that, or Gon 6s. So you can at least clear one shield or a zombie that's going to be in front of you. Because you're usually going to run into that and you don't want to get stuck up against a brick wall. So Ashe is going to be really good, and she's 3-speed. So Ashe is good in this meta. Brava, I'm going to say probably... She has the shotgun, which is good. I'm going to say C tier probably for Brava. Again, you can't blow anything up. You're going to be on your drones for a while too, which is not a good thing a lot of the times because then your team's going to all run in and die. And it's going to be like a 2v4 when you're outside. You've gotten some cameras and stuff with your drones. You've gotten their utility, but does it really matter at that point when your whole team's dead? If you're going to take like one of these kind of operators, I'd recommend going Twitch. I think Twitch is going to be right ahead of her on the B tier. At least with Twitch, you have the F2. Brava's gun's really good too, but it's not going to be very good for getting headshots. The fire rate's a little low on it. So I'd recommend having the F2. I play on console too, so this is more of a console tier list. So I'm going to say Twitch is ahead of Brava there. Not by much. Maybe Brava won't be in here. I'll leave her in the B tier. She's not bad either. If your team plays right, she's really good. She could easily be A or S tier. Blackbeard, instant F tier. Never take Blackbeard. For the F tier operators, like if you played them, you're throwing. D tier is going to be like very rare occasions they could be really good. C tier, like sometimes they could be really good, sometimes bad. So eh. C tier is literally just eh. And then B tier, they're going to be good quite a bit of the time if you know how to play them right. A tier, they're going to be good most of the time. You should take this op. S tier, you can never go wrong picking them basically in any situation. Blitz could probably go in C tier. No. I don't recommend taking shields really if you're solo queuing because most of the time your team isn't going to know how to play around it and there's not going to be any communication. If you're on the right team, C could definitely work. Like, he's going to be good at certain sites like Oregon Basement Bunker. He's good at taking that. But I just wouldn't recommend it if you're playing by yourself. He can't go to shields or anything, obviously. So, And he can't really clear any utility like barbed wire traps. I wouldn't take Blitz. And this is my tier list. Buck, that's a little laggy. Buck is going to be, I think, an S tier operator. You can't go wrong picking Buck ever really in solo queue because you get the Gon 6. You get a really good gun, really good fire rate. Not much recoil if you know how to control it. You get the shotgun too for really close range engagements or if you're out of ammo or anything. You can just swap to the skeleton key and go crazy with that. I'm trying to think. He has stun grenades too or hard breach. Both really good secondaries. So, Buck's definitely S tier. Not much more to say. And of course, his ability, the skeleton key, can cause havoc on the vertical angles. And you can do it really fast. You can swap back to your gun and shoot back. So you don't have to rely on your team doing that. Capitao. I think Capitao's probably in like C tier, but maybe B. I think he's probably going to be better than Brava. Just because you can like work with the utility while you're trying to push in. Brava, it's kind of like you got to use the drones and then you can do the push. In this meta, I think Capitao's going to be better. I'm going to put Brava actually in C now and move Capitao up. Hopefully I don't have any Brava supporters getting mad at me in the comments now. But I just think Capitao's a little bit better. They have the same gun too, of course. Capitao has hard breach charges too, though. It's another bonus about him. I think Brava has like what, smokes and claymore? Smokes are going to be good, but Capitao also has smokes on top of the hard breach. And he has the fire bolts. And he has the Gon 6 too. So I think definitely Capitao. He's going to be the better choice. Dokkaebi, automatic S tier for solo queue. She can still do a lot. She can break soft hatches with her gun. She has a Gon 6 for some clear. Or the SMG-12, which is crazy. I just uploaded a short a couple hours ago, actually, if you want to watch that. With the SMG-12. It's such a good gun if you can control it. The fire rate's crazy on it. I'm debating putting her in A just because she can't break a shield, but she can. If you just take the Gon 6, then Dokkaebi's easily S tier. And if you don't need to break a shield that round, just take the SMG-12. And then she has either EMPs, if your team's getting the wall, you can help really fast with that. Or stuns and smokes, so very good options. Easy S tier. Her gun's not the same with a DMR, but still. S tier either way. Finka and solo queue is going to be really good most of the time. You get the Gon 6 for clear. You get a really good gun. The LMG's still really good if you know how to use it. And the other gun's not bad either. I'm thinking A tier for Finka. You can't really go wrong taking her because of the heals in this meta. She's really fast-paced. Flores in this meta is not bad at all, but he's not the best either because you got to sit in your drones for so long. I'd say it's really good if you see the other teams really abusing the Azami or something, or a lot of shields, then I'd recommend taking Flores. And he has his really good sites too, like Oregon Bunker. Fuse, I'm going to put in C tier, I think. He's not the best. People overuse Fuse still, I think. He's only good for vert play, really, but even then, like, you can just run around and avoid it. And if the other team's taking Wamai and Jaeger, then it's not going to be the best. I can't put him any lower than C tier, though, because his gun is still crazy. Against C tier, you can take some of the time, and he's going to be really good still. I just want to take D or F tier operators most of the time. If not all the time. But I can't justify putting him over any of these other operators so far. Glaz, I think, is going to be right above Fuse. Sure, you get grenades, and the smokes work really well in tandem with his gun, but Warren's one of the best operators on defense right now. He's picked almost every round, so that really counters Glass, unfortunately, for him. But the grenades aren't bad. He can still be played, right? And you have the Bearing 9 as your backup if you need to enter in. And he's 3-speed, right? So Glass is kind of underrated in this meta. I can't put him any lower than C tier. Gridlock? Gridlock is not bad because you're usually going to be with your team. If you're playing with your team really well and just being very close to them with the trades and stuff, you can use your gadgets to throw those suckers down on the ground behind your team and they can't get flanked as well. And it's going to cause chaos. If your team's pushing in for a plant really fast, like directly on site, just start throwing them around everywhere. Throw your smokes in there too. And you're going to be set for a plant. They will not hear anything that's going on. So I think Gridlock's honestly B tier. I'm going to put her over Flores. I'd still think taking Capitao is going to be the better play. They both have the Gon 6, so you can get rid of a shield too. I think Gridlock's gun is better. Honestly, if you're solo queuing, I take Gridlock over Capitao most of the time. Just because it's more just chaos and stuff going on. Her only downside is the 3 armor, 1 speed, but even like Zofia and Sledge are, and they're still good. Okay, next. Grim. I haven't really tried Grim this season myself since he's been buffed, but I think he's going to be really good. He's a 3-speed with a really good gun and a 2x scope on it. Just that alone makes me want to put him in A tier, and then he has the Bailiff for making Vert if you need it later on, or to start the round before he's entry into the bomb site, that is. So I think he's going to be A tier. Above Finka too. I'd rather have a Grim than a Finka on my team, I think. That might be a little too high. This could be completely off, but we'll see as the season goes. I'll do another one of these next season too at the start, and we'll see where he's moved to. Habana, again, she's going to be really good on solo queue for certain sites, but not everyone, so I can't put her in S tier. Sometimes you don't want the Habana, you don't need that. But for certain things, like getting the garage angle on Clubhouse from down low, to see up in the rafters, that's really good. If they reinforce even, which sometimes they don't. And then on like basement sites for, say, Oregon basement, Clubhouse basement, Bank basement, there's going to be a lot of hatches you can get. And if they don't reinforce them all, you can literally blow all of them up with Habana. Like all 5 on Bank. She is really good for that. If you're going for the wall, though, I'd definitely just take the Ace or the Thermite. Where's Thermite? Okay, let me get Thermite in here, too. I think he'll be like... he can't be A tier. You're better off taking a lot of other stuff over a Thermite, because your team never helps you at the wall, right? I'd say Thermite's going to be somewhere around here. I'd rather have Thermite over these two still, I think. But again, just don't go Thermite and solo queue most of the time unless you see they don't have anything on the wall. Or unless you know your team's going to help you get this stuff off. Because then you're just going to be useless. Yana, easy S tier, best operator in the game right now on attack. If you're taking Yana, Ace, Buck, Dokkaebi on attack, you can never go wrong. So I completely agree with these S tier ones so far. Grenades, you have extra drones with your clones. And a really good gun, the G36. I love that thing. IQ. In the run and gun meta, she's honestly not that bad since her gun is so good. And she's a 3-speed. And you can quickly get on your little thing. You can't shoot when you're on it though, really. You have the pistol, but that's it. I'm tempted to put her in B tier, but she might still be S. Or, it's not S. She would never be S tier right now. If she had grenade, she'd be S tier, I think. I think I'd rather have all the B tier ops over her. I am being a little harsh. I don't want to put everybody in like the top few tiers, so easily some of these you can take most rounds too and be fine. So I'm gonna stick her in C tier though. I would rather have a Brava than IQ though, so I'm gonna put her behind Brava. Just for solo queue purposes. If they're taking a Valk though, she could easily be A or B tier in that game. If you see they're taking an Echo or a Valkyrie every round, then start taking the IQ more. Then you can easily counter them completely. Jackal, he's banned like 90% of the time anyway, but when he's not, he is really good for doing roam clears. In solo queue, it depends on the map, but I don't think he's the best really. He is very annoying though. It's hard to put him below A tier because he is so good still. He has the shotgun. He has his ability still. His gun's insane for the run and gun meta. He has the PDW too on top of the C7. So it's hard for me to put him below A tier. I think I will though. I think he's only B tier. I don't think he's as good as these other ops probably in this meta. Just for solo queue alone. You can't get rid of any shields or anything with Jackal, so honestly I think Armor is better than Jackal in this meta. You can get in faster and you have a good gun as well. The LMG is insane. Use angle grip on it and it'll do wonders. Okay, moving on to Callie. I would never go Callie in solo queue really. I'm tempted to put her in F tier. You can get rid of shields and stuff still, I guess, and you can help with a wall first. And the secondary gun's not too bad, so I'll keep her in D tier above Blackbeard. I wouldn't be completely mad at you if you were taking Callie, only a little bit. Lion in solo queue, he's honestly not the best. With a team and some good coordination, he can be really good for pushing. You do have the Gone 6 still, so that's why I'm keeping him in C tier. He's not completely useless like these guys. His ability's a lot better. I don't think I can put him above Fuse or Glaz, though. I just don't think I can. Glaz has the Gone 6 too, I'm pretty sure, on top of the grenades, which is kind of crazy to think about, that he has both still. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, Maverick and solo queue. You never want to take Maverick. He's so bad. I'm almost tempted to put him in the F tier, but I'm not. His gun is still really good and he's fast. But if you start using the Maverick torch on the wall and your team's trying to break it, you're just throwing at that point. If he had grenades, he'd still probably be like B tier, A tier even. Probably A tier. But he does not, unfortunately. Okay, next we got Montaigne. This is probably the best solo queue shield op if you wanted to play one. I think I could justify you putting him in C tier. Yeah, I'll put Montaigne in C tier. For certain sites, he could be really good with your extendable shield. You don't need much communication either. You can just stand in front and the enemies are going to start shooting, as long as you don't get in the way of your teammates. And it's really good to get a plant down in smokes. And he has Harbor Breach if you do need that instead, so he's a bit more versatile than like a Blitz or a Fuse Shield or something, you know? Never take Fuse Shield. Okay, Nook. Nook is going to be S tier. You can sneak around, you can lurk around, play off your teammates, bait them. Just get the kills that you need to win the round. You can get rid of shields and stuff since you have grenades. You can avoid cameras, which is really good because there's usually going to be a lot. Your team does not take out cameras very well in sight. Like bulletproofs, evil eyes, echo cams, vault cams, all that stuff. Even default cams, your team's not going to shoot those very well. So I put Nook in S tier. And her gun's very good. She's good in this meta, for sure. And she's really good at like the late backstabs. If you ever tried like going garage on bank late in the round after you were doing something else, they'll never expect it. Even if the cam's still up because they won't see you. And they'll think it's good. You can be really effective with your air jabs in solo queue. I was trying to think of the name. I forgot they were called air jabs. You can be effective with those, pushing the site with your team even really fast. But they're also good for watching flank if you want to do that. So you can be more versatile with her. Her only downside, again, is not being able to get a shield like Jackal and Twitch. So that's why some of these guys are a little lower than some others in the B tier. Can I really justify, though, putting Nomad below Gridlock? I don't think I can. So I think I'll move her up right above Gridlock. The little flank watch category right here. Nomad has the advantage of just her gadget being better. It's harder to see, so they would have to run into it, compared to just running into the tracks and just shooting them out of the way and going. She's probably better flank watch, but hitting sight, I'd say Gridlock's better, so it just depends on what you're trying to do. Okay, Osa. Osa in solo queue, again, it's not the worst. I think she's probably like bottom of B tier. Her gun's really good, the PDW. You can't really go over more than one round, though, if you're doing like a direct take, say border top floor, you're trying to use the shield for that. They can just start lobbing the impacts at you if they figure out you're going O7 round. Or C4s even. You're an easy C4 target standing behind the shield. But it is good in certain situations still. I'd still rather have most of these other ops ahead of her. Just depends on the round. She's still B tier, that's a good thing. She's not bad or anything, so take Osa if you want. Okay, Sense. I think I'm going to put Sense in the bottom of C tier. They're better than these operators for sure. They have like the little green screens you can throw around. Their gun also is insane. If you've ever tried using the whatever that's called, I forget. That thing is a headshot machine if you can aim. The recoil is a little bit jumpy, kind of like the F2. But it's really good. It's kind of like Jaeger's gun, honestly. That's what it reminds me of when I use it. But with a 1.5 sight or better. I think Sense can cause a lot of chaos when you're hitting sight, so that's a good ranking for them. Again, this meta is very balanced, so if you can take anything like C tier and above, that'd be completely fine. As you can see, every tier is pretty much balanced too. These last few operators are some good ones here. Sledge, easy S tier, you have grenades. The gun's good, very reliable. You also have the sledgehammer, so you can make a lot of plays with that. You can get vert play done. The only downside, he's a little slower than these guys, being a 3 armor now. But you can also take an extra shot sometimes just because of that. A lot of people forget that you can get away with a little bit more, especially those nitros from below. Like, imagine how many times you've been left at like 5 health from a nitro through the clubhouse floor, and if you were someone else, you would have been dead or downed. It's a very little thing, but it's still something. Easily S tier, though. I kind of want to put him above Buck. Let me do that. I think this is probably a better rating now. Yana, Ace, Doke, and then Nook, Sledge, Buck. You can take these S tier operators every round, and it would always work. Thatcher is a little bit overrated at this point. I don't know why he gets banned so much. I guess he's like easy breach every time, but you can easily do the breach every time if you just pick the right ops anyway. Like, just take EMPs or take grenades or a Twitch or something, you know? But in solo queue, I guess that's hard to do. But also being in solo queue, if you go Thatcher and your team doesn't even go for the wall, you're completely useless. You can get gadgets and stuff with your EMPs, but that's not going to help you very much if there's a shield. It's not going to do anything to a shield. And the gun's not the best. You are a 3 armor only, so it's going to be hard to push in. I'd put Thatcher probably like top of C tier. I'd rather take IQ than Thatcher, if I'm being honest. I'm going to put him right with Thermite, so you need these two to work well with each other probably. In solo queue, that is hard to do. Okay, Ying. The only downside of her, you can't get rid of shields. I've mentioned that before. Or zombies. Those are kind of the same thing to me. You're going to need clear for that, like a Gon 6 at least. Or grenades. Or other breachables. So since you can't do that, I'm tempted to put her in B tier only. I won't drop her to S. I'll leave her right here with Osa, kind of in that category. If your team's taking the right stuff to clear shields and stuff, and they're actually hitting sight properly, she can be insanely good for certain things. Just because you have 4 Candles, you can just spam them all. 2 smokes even. Or if you're wanting to hit like a hard wall in the back, like on Oregon, say you're taking the top floor, you can just go around to the back by tower. You can breach that wall by yourself if it's not muted or anything. And then you can entry from attic with your Candelas, and it's really good for that. That's where I would usually take Ying. I don't really play her much else. She's going to bank in the basement too. I like taking her there. She's going to pretty much every site if you have the right team. But again, this is solo queue, so I don't really recommend it. Zero is going to be... Do I put Zero in S tier for solo queue? I think I'm going to. It's hard to put him above these other guys. But you do have hard breach charges. You have a Gon 6. You have a really good gun. You're a 3 speed. You have 4 cameras. He can just do so much. He's like a Swiss Army knife. You can burn for shields with his cameras. So you can just shoot one of those past just to make sure there's no ADS. And then you can use your Gon 6 to clear it. And then you can shoot another camera past it just to see the info and see where the defender's playing at. And it's really good if you're pushing with your team too, because you can shoot the camera and you can start just red pinging them. They'll have to look. Your team can push. Easy kill. And you can come behind your team to trade him out just in case they die somehow. He is very good in solo queue. Very reliable gun though, that's the best part. And hard breach charge if you're trying to get a wall by yourself, like the same one I was talking about in Oregon with Ying. Sophia, I think she can still be A tier. You can always breach something like a shield with her ability. That's what I've been preaching this whole time. Just being able to break shields into zombies. That's going to be a really important part of solo queue. Because you want to get active, you want to play aggressive. And you can't really do that if there's a dude just standing behind a shield or crouched behind a shield and watching you. Or getting like some nerd angle through like 3 zombie barriers. So now you can burn ADSs. I would say she's better than Ashe, but she's so slow. I can't really do it, and Ashe's gun is better. Other than that, though, they're kind of the same operator. They have breaches or claymore. I think this is a really good tier list, though, for attackers. I'd say these operators have their very, very few instances where they can be good, but not Blackbeard. Never take Blackbeard or you're the worst. Just saying. I don't know if this is going to be a separate video from my Defender tier list. This did last quite a while, I think, so if it is, then I will be uploading that one probably in a couple days. I'll upload another solo queue video tomorrow and then do the Defenders. But if you did enjoy this one, leave a like down there below, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in that one. Bye.